He said that these people, the anti-corruption activists were paid by foreign sources. And they're up to something very, very bad. They're up to something very bad. So the intelligence knew, and that's why they stopped them. But if they were genuine, he would have joined them. Man, this is a guy who has presided over the most corrupt regime in history of Uganda. You know? If you're being chased from your land, Wigi, the 8 villages in Okono, and all over Munyoro and northern Uganda and Saramoja, you have to be paid to protest against corruption.
When the land is being...
When the land is being, you're being taken, and when, because the East African crude oil pipeline, hundreds of thousands of people are going to be displaced. You have to be displaced, and you have to be paid to express displeasure against corruption. So Museveni is the biggest joke Ugandans have had, and obviously it's a lie because Museveni does not want anyone to protest about anything. No, because it looks like it is entitled to Uganda and its resources and to the power, and he wants to be in power for, you know, to pass it on to his son and
Never. We said no.
more and more generations. And Ugandans are saying no, no. And the younger Ugandan people, where is that saying? I want to be one. So these are some of the youth that have been arrested. There are over 90 students that are abducted. Well, some of them are abducted, some of them are arrested.
Shame.
Some of them have been released, and those that have been released, they've said they've been sodomized.
Shame.
The military and the police. Mind you, Museveni is the one who promoted the so-called anti-gay law and saying that these people are trying to sodomize our children, which is wrong. People don't, I mean, you know, but basically he is actually doing what he claims to be against. This military, and these cases have been documented for years. When people go to prison, they're being sodomized by Museveni's regime. So Ugandans, wake up and hold Museveni to account. These young people are heroes. They're heroes of Uganda's heroes. This is what we want. This is what Ugandans have been looking for. They've been looking for every one of us to stand up and say enough is enough. And finally, these young people have stood up and are being arrested. We call upon all Ugandans,
yes.
Whether it's political leaders, religious leaders, traders, teachers, doctors that have all suffered because of Museveni's corruption, to stand up and join the youth. You don't have to be leaders of these protests. Just encourage everyone and join the youth to say enough is enough, just like they've done in Kenya. It should be a national effort, partless, tribalist. We want action. We want action. We cannot take any more. And young people, please do not stop. We are behind you. And whatever resources you need, please reach out through our channels, and we will provide you whatever resources you need so you can sustain the struggle on the streets. We are behind you, and we will go to court. We will reach out to international bodies to ensure that you're released from prison. And we are going to document every single arrest and make sure you get compensation and you get released from prison. So, young people, we are very proud of you, and please do not stop. Know that the diaspora is very, very encouraged by your actions, because this is what we've been looking for, and this is what we encourage all political leaders and all religious leaders and all Ugandans to do. To stand up and say enough is enough. Just like they're doing in Kenya. Kenya's situation is not as bad as Uganda's, but the Kenyans have forced the government of Kenya to fire most of the cabinet. And now they're demanding that Ruto's government, which actually elected, gets out of power. They're saying enough is enough because there's too much corruption. But in Uganda, in addition to corruption, The government is rigging elections. They're killing our people. They're destroying our people from land. They're polluting our waters. They're doing all types of ills and making our lives miserable. So please, Ugandans, and again, as Tony said, we in the diaspora have no excuse. We have no excuse. We all should be coming to this protest. We should all be speaking. These kids are first at guns, they're first tear gas, they're first in prison. Others are being sodomized just for speaking out. They're taking all the risks to come and speak on behalf of all of us. So we in the diaspora, the least we can do is to support this protest. Please don't stay home. Don't stay home. Go and join any action, any protest that is speaking out for Ugandans, for people who are voiceless. We are privileged here in the diaspora. We don't have to lose. We're not losing anything by coming to the streets. Obviously, there's fear that the regime can target us and our properties and maybe families. But what about the kids that have gone to the streets? They could lose everything. They could, it takes a lot of courage and guts for the kids to do what they did. So please, in the diaspora, please let's join hands and support our youth and support our countrymen and women who are taking the risk and doing what is necessary to call the regime to account. And that's the only time, only when you're going to stand up in massive numbers, we get the support from the international community. Because if you're not standing up, the international community thinks things are not so bad. Because if it's bad enough, Ugandans will be out on the streets. They'll be doing what the Kenyans have done. They'll be doing what the Egyptians did. They'll be doing what